Welcome to Numismatic Vault, the channel where coins aren't just spare change, they're hidden treasures waiting to be found. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of rare and valuable state quarters. Some of these coins are worth far more than you'd ever imagine, and the best part, they could be sitting in your pocket or coin jar right now. So get ready, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your change in a whole new way. Top 1. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic coins from the modern era of American currency, the very first state quarter ever issued, the Delaware quarter from 1999. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another 25-cent piece, but hidden within certain examples are secrets that can turn it from small change into a serious fortune. So grab your magnifying glass, pay attention, and let's explore why this coin has captured the imagination of collectors all over the world. The story begins in 1999, when the United States Mint launched the legendary 50-state quarters program. This series was designed to honor every state in the Union with its own unique design. The program was an instant success, sparking a coin-collecting craze across the country. People of all ages started saving quarters from their pocket change, eager to complete full sets. And because Delaware was the very first state to ratify the Constitution back in 1787, it was only fitting that Delaware became the first state featured in this historic series. That decision alone gave the coin an enduring spotlight, making it not just another quarter, but the leader of an entire movement in modern collecting. The design of this coin is one of the most memorable. On the reverse side, we see Caesar Rodney, a patriot of the American Revolution, riding horseback. His famous ride in 1776, through stormy weather and difficult terrain, allowed him to cast a decisive vote for independence. This image is more than artwork, it represents courage, sacrifice, and the very spirit of American freedom. On the obverse side, of course, is the familiar portrait of George Washington, tying together the nation's first president with the state that earned the title, the first state. Now, most Delaware quarters are still just worth 25 cents, because millions were produced for circulation. But here's where things get exciting: not every coin comes out of the mint perfectly. Some carry small but dramatic mistakes, errors that transform them into rare treasures. Collectors know these error coins are like fingerprints, completely unique, and their value can climb into astonishing territory. Some Delaware quarters show what's known as a double die error, where parts of the design, such as the lettering or Caesar Rodney's image, appear doubled. Others may show off-center strikes, where the entire design is shifted noticeably to one side. There are even cases of broad strikes, where the coin is struck without the collar that usually shapes it, leaving it slightly larger and flatter than normal. Each of these mistakes makes the coin stand out instantly to a trained eye, and collectors are willing to pay heavily for these one-of-a-kind examples. Condition also plays a huge role. Coins that circulated heavily, passing from hand to hand for decades, pick up scratches, nicks, and wear. Those are fun to keep but not highly valuable. But coins preserved in near-perfect, uncirculated condition are in a completely different league. A flawless Delaware quarter with a mint error can become the centerpiece of a collection. Professional grading services carefully evaluate these coins, and a top grade can push their value to levels few people would expect from a simple quarter. Think about it, a coin you could have received as change at a grocery store back in 1999 might now be sitting in someone's safe deposit box, insured and guarded like a precious jewel. That's the thrill of coin collecting. You never know when the ordinary might turn out to be extraordinary, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can one of these Delaware state quarters be worth if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and error? Believe it or not, some have been valued as high as $89,000, yes, you heard that right, $89,000 for a single quarter that once jingled in someone's pocket. That is the magic of numismatics, where history, artistry, and rarity collide to create treasures hiding in plain sight. So, coin enthusiasts, take a closer look at your change, dig through your old coin jars, and who knows, you might just be holding on to a Delaware quarter that could change your life. Top 2. We're going to explore one of the most fascinating and meaningful coins in the entire state quarter series, the New York quarter, issued in 2001. At first glance, it may seem like just another 25-cent piece, but as you'll soon learn, certain versions of this coin are far from ordinary. In fact, for those lucky enough to discover a rare example, the value could be nothing short of life-changing. So sit back, listen carefully, and let's uncover the secrets of the New York State Quarter. The 50 State Quarters program was one of the most ambitious coin projects ever launched by the United States Mint. Beginning in 1999, each state was honored with a unique design that reflected its history, culture, and identity. By 2001, the program was in full swing, and New York, known as the Empire State, was chosen for a design that perfectly captured its spirit and significance. The New York Quarter remains one of the most popular and symbolic coins of the entire series. Let's look at its design. On the reverse side, you'll see a beautifully detailed outline of the state of New York, along with a prominent image of the Statue of Liberty. Lady Liberty stands proudly, symbolizing freedom, hope, and the welcoming spirit of America. Behind her is an arrangement of lines that represent the gateways and pathways that connect New York to the rest of the world. At the bottom, the words, "Gateway to Freedom," remind us of the state's central role in American history and immigration. On the obverse side, you'll find the familiar portrait of George Washington, anchoring the coin in tradition, but what makes this coin truly exciting for collectors isn't just its design, it's the story of its rarity, condition, and those fascinating minting errors that set some examples apart. Millions of New York quarters were struck for circulation, which means most are still only worth their face value of 25 cents. But every so often, something unusual happens at the mint. Some New York quarters left the presses with striking errors. One of the most famous is the double die error, where parts of the design appear doubled. This could be in the lettering, the outline of the state, or even details of the Statue of Liberty. Another variety includes off-center strikes, where the entire image is shifted away from its intended alignment. Collectors also search for broad strikes, missing details, or coins that were struck on the wrong metal planchets. These errors are not just mistakes, they are unique fingerprints of the minting process, and they make the coins extraordinarily rare and desirable. Condition is another critical factor. Coins that have been in circulation for years usually show wear and tear. While still collectible, they don't bring in the highest prices. The real treasures are coins that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition, those that have been preserved carefully and graded highly by professional services. A flawless New York quarter with a dramatic error can ignite fierce competition among collectors at auctions. Think about it, this quarter was minted in 2001, over 2 decades ago. Millions were spent, exchanged, and tucked away in jars or piggy banks, but only a handful survived with rare errors in perfect condition. These are the hidden gems that collectors dream of discovering, and now, the moment you've been waiting for. Just how much can one of these New York State quarters be worth if it has the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and error? Believe it or not, some examples have reached as high as $87,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $87,000 for a single quarter that you might have once overlooked as pocket change. That is the magic of coin collecting. It's a world where history, design, and rare imperfections transform everyday objects into extraordinary treasures. So, coin enthusiasts, next time you come across a New York State quarter, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look, examine its details, and check its condition. You never know, you could be holding a coin worth a fortune. Top 3. We're turning our attention to a truly remarkable piece from the legendary State Quarters program, the North Carolina State Quarter issued in 2001. At first glance, it may seem like just another 25-cent piece, but don't be fooled. Some rare versions of this coin have shocked collectors and auction houses with their incredible values. So stay with me until the end, because you'll want to hear how much this little coin can be worth. The State Quarters program was launched by the United States Mint in 1999 and quickly became one of the most popular coin series in American history. Each coin highlighted a state's heritage and identity, giving collectors and everyday citizens a chance to learn history through their pocket change. By 2001, the third year of the program, North Carolina was selected to showcase a design that celebrated a moment of innovation that changed the world forever, the first flight. The reverse side of the coin features a striking image of the Wright brothers' plane, the 1903 Flyer, soaring above the sands of Kitty Hawk. Below the aircraft stand Orville and Wilbur Wright themselves, witnessing history in the making. This design powerfully symbolizes progress, human ingenuity, and the bold spirit of exploration. Above the design, the coin proudly reads, "First Flight," reminding us of the monumental achievement that took place in North Carolina. On the obverse side is George Washington, linking the new series to the timeless foundation of American coinage, but what makes this coin truly fascinating isn't only its design, it's the hidden rarity within certain examples. Millions of North Carolina quarters were struck, and most circulated through everyday transactions. These ordinary coins are still worth just a quarter. However, a small number of them came out of the mint with unusual mistakes, and those errors are what transform an everyday coin into a collector's dream. Some of the most desirable errors include double die strikes, where parts of the lettering or even the details of the right flyer appear doubled. Other coins were struck off-center, creating a misaligned design that immediately catches the eye. Then there are broad strikes, where the coin was struck without the protective collar, making it appear larger and slightly distorted. Even more dramatic are coins struck on the wrong metal planchets, accidents where the quarter design was pressed onto a blank intended for another denomination. These rare minting flaws make each coin unique, and collectors will pay extraordinary amounts for them. Condition also plays a huge role in determining value. A North Carolina quarter that spent years jingling in pockets and cash registers may be fun to keep but won't bring a high price. The real treasures are the examples that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition. Coins graded at the highest levels by professional services are the ones that ignite bidding wars at auctions. When you combine perfect condition with a dramatic minting error, the results can be astounding. Think about it. A coin minted more than 20 years ago, handed out as change at a gas station or tucked into a drawer, could actually be a hidden fortune. Most people never look closely enough, but collectors know that these details make all the difference. It's like a treasure hunt hiding in plain sight, and the North Carolina State Quarter is one of the most exciting examples from the entire program. Now comes the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. How much could one of these North Carolina State Quarters from 2001 really be worth if it has the perfect combination of rarity, condition, and mint error? Believe it or not, some examples have been valued as high as $84,000, yes, you heard that right, $84,000 for a single state quarter. That's the magic of coin collecting, turning small everyday objects into extraordinary treasures. Top 4. We're exploring another gem from the famous 50 State Quarters program, a coin that beautifully captures the spirit of the American South, the Mississippi State Quarter from 2002. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary piece of change, but for coin collectors, certain examples of this quarter are far from ordinary. Some rare versions have stunned the collecting world with their beauty, their history, and their incredible value. So listen closely, because this coin has a story worth hearing from start to finish. The 50 State Quarters program, launched in 1999, became one of the most successful coin series in U.S. history. Each design honored a state, reflecting its culture, heritage, or natural beauty. By 2002, when the Mississippi Quarter was released, millions of Americans had already been swept up in the excitement of collecting these coins. Children and adults alike searched their pocket change, eager to find every design. And Mississippi's coin stood out with its elegant tribute to the state flower, the magnolia. The reverse side of the Mississippi Quarter features two large magnolia blossoms in full bloom. Known as the Magnolia State, Mississippi is celebrated for these flowers, which represent beauty, strength, and resilience. The detailed engraving brings the blossoms to life, making this one of the most striking floral designs in the entire series. The obverse side carries the classic portrait of George Washington, tying this modern collectible back to America's traditional coinage. Now, most of these coins are still worth just 25 cents, but here's where things get fascinating. Some examples of the Mississippi Quarter contain rare minting errors, mistakes that occurred during production and slipped past quality control. For collectors, these errors are like golden tickets, instantly transforming the coin into a prized rarity. Among the most sought-after errors are double die strikes, where details of the lettering or flowers appear doubled, giving the coin a ghostly, layered effect. Another variety is the off-center strike, where the design is shifted away from the center, leaving blank space on part of the coin. There are also broad strikes, where the coin was struck without the collar that shapes its edge, resulting in a wider and distorted appearance. Even rarer are coins struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a quarter's design pressed onto a metal blank intended for a dime or nickel. These unusual flaws make the coin stand out instantly and are worth serious money. Condition is just as important as rarity. Most quarters have been tossed in pockets, clinked around in jars, or used in transactions for decades. These circulated coins carry scratches, nicks, and wear that lower their value. But a Mississippi quarter preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition can command impressive prices. When such a coin also carries a dramatic error, it becomes the kind of discovery collectors dream about. Professional grading services evaluate these coins carefully, and top-graded examples often set records at auction. Think about it, a coin minted over 2 decades ago, which many people have overlooked as ordinary change, could actually be a valuable collectible hiding in plain sight. That's the thrill of coin collecting, ordinary objects with extraordinary stories. The Mississippi quarter embodies not only the beauty of the state but also the exciting possibility of hidden treasures, and now comes the part you've been waiting for, the value reveal. How much could one of these Mississippi state quarters from 2002 really be worth if it carries the perfect combination of condition and minting error? Believe it or not, some examples have been valued as high as $81,000, yes, you heard that correctly, $81,000 for a single 25-cent coin. It's living proof that history, art, and rarity can turn the smallest pieces of currency into treasures beyond imagination. So, coin lovers, the next time you come across a Mississippi quarter, don't just toss it into a coin jar. Take a closer look, check the details, and see what secrets it might hold. Because you never know, you might just be holding a coin worth a fortune. Top 5. We're traveling to the heart of America to explore a coin that tells the story of history, leadership, and national pride, the Illinois State Quarter from 2003. Now, you may think of it as just a regular 25-cent coin, but if you listen carefully, you'll discover that certain rare versions of this quarter have amazed collectors with their extraordinary value. So stick with me until the very end, because you don't want to miss how much this coin can actually be worth. The 50-state quarters program launched in 1999 was one of the most ambitious coin projects in U.S. history, and by 2003, the Mint had already released several designs that captured the spirit of their states. Illinois, known as the Land of Lincoln, was featured with a design that stands out not only for its symbolism but also for its artistry. This quarter became an instant favorite among collectors because of its meaningful design and its role in celebrating one of America's most iconic presidents. The reverse side of the Illinois quarter shows a young Abraham Lincoln standing proudly, representing his early years in the state. Around him are 21 stars, symbolizing Illinois as the 21st state admitted to the Union. In the background is the famous Chicago skyline and farmland, reflecting both the urban and rural strength of Illinois. Above it all, the state's motto, Land of Lincoln, proudly reminds everyone of Lincoln's enduring legacy. On the obverse side is the familiar portrait of George Washington, connecting the new with the historic, but what turns this coin from ordinary to extraordinary is not just its design, it's the rarity of certain examples. Millions of Illinois quarters were struck for circulation, and the majority are still only worth face value. However, some coins left the mint with unusual errors or were preserved in exceptional condition, and those are the coins collectors hunt for passionately. Among the most desirable minting errors are double die strikes, where parts of the lettering, Lincoln's figure, or even the Chicago skyline appear doubled. Off-center strikes are another variety, with the entire design shifted away from the center. Broad strikes, which occur when a coin is struck without its collar, give the quarter a stretched or distorted appearance. And then there are wrong planchet errors, where the quarter's design was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for another denomination. Each of these mistakes is incredibly rare and instantly raises a coin's value. Condition is just as important as rarity. A coin that has been in circulation, bouncing around in pockets and cash registers, usually shows scratches and wear. While still collectible, these coins don't bring the highest prices. The real treasures are uncirculated coins, those that have been carefully preserved, often graded by professional services, and given top scores for quality. When you combine pristine condition with a dramatic minting error, the value can skyrocket far beyond what most people imagine. Think about it, a coin minted in 2003, which you might have received as change for a purchase, could actually be hiding a fortune. Most people glance at a quarter and never look twice, but seasoned collectors know that the details make all the difference. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's part history, part treasure hunt, and part mystery. The Illinois quarter also holds a special place in the hearts of collectors because of its tribute to Abraham Lincoln. It connects directly to one of the most influential leaders in American history, which gives it extra appeal. This emotional connection, paired with its rarity and potential for errors, makes it even more desirable in the numismatic world. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for. How much can one of these Illinois state quarters from 2003 really be worth if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and mint error? Believe it or not, some examples have been valued as high as $78,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $78,000 for a single quarter. That's the incredible power of coin collecting, where history, art, and rarity come together to transform an ordinary piece of pocket change into a life-changing treasure. So, coin enthusiasts, the next time you come across an Illinois quarter, don't just toss it aside. Examine it closely, check for details, and you might just discover a rare gem hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Illinois state quarter, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more amazing coin stories. Until next time, happy hunting and happy collecting.